Everything you've been told about the alpha wolf is wrong. The dominant wolf doesn't lead from the front. It doesn't dominate through aggression or force. In real wild wolf packs, the so-called leader walks at the back, watching, protecting, absorbing the terrain so the others don't have to. The concept of the aggressive, domineering alpha was built on a flawed study conducted on captive wolves in the 1940s. It was a myth, and it took decades for one of the world's leading wolf researchers to correct it. What he found instead looks almost exactly like the leadership philosophy of a Roman emperor who died nearly 2,000 years ago. In 1999, wildlife biologist L. David Meck, one of the foremost wolf experts on Earth, published a paper challenging the entire framework the world had been using to understand wolf behavior. The alpha wolf theory, he explained, was built by observing wolves in captivity. Wolves forced together from different packs, in an artificial environment under chronic stress. Of course they fought for dominance. They had nothing else to structure around. Wild wolf packs don't work that way. Wild packs are families. The alpha pair is simply the breeding pair, the parents. The other wolves are their offspring, from multiple years of litters. There is no violent power struggle. There is no constant dominance display. What there is structure built on experience, trust, and role. When the pack moves, the experienced adults, especially the father, often trail behind. Not because they are slow. Because position at the rear means you see everything. You see who is falling behind. You see what's approaching from the tree line. You absorb the risk of what follows, so those ahead can move freely. Meck watched this in Ellesmere Island's Arctic wolves over decades. The behavior was consistent. The wolves at the back were not subordinate. They were the most aware and therefore the most responsible. Real wolf leadership is built on three qualities: service, patience, and sacrifice. These are not metaphors. They are the documented behavioral patterns of experienced wolves observed in the wild. The pack eats. The experienced wolf waits. When prey is scarce, the leaders go without before the younger wolves do. When threats appear, rival packs, large predators, human encroachment, the experienced wolves move toward the threat, not away. They put themselves between danger and the younger members of the family, not because instinct demands it, because their experience has made them the most capable of handling it, and leadership in the wolf world simply means being the one most capable of absorbing what others cannot. There is no vanity in this leadership. There is no theater. The wolf at the back is not performing authority. It is exercising responsibility. And in that distinction, between performing authority and exercising responsibility, is one of the most important ideas you will ever encounter, which is exactly why Marcus Aurelius wrote about it nearly 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius ruled the Roman Empire from 161 to 180 AD. He commanded armies. He set policy for millions. He had more power than almost any person in the ancient world. And every morning, before anyone else was awake, he sat alone and wrote notes to himself. Not proclamations, not speeches. Private self-examinations. The kind of writing a man does when he is trying to hold himself accountable to a standard he's set internally, not externally. In Book 11 of his Meditations he wrote, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." He was emperor. He had nothing to prove and no one to answer to. And yet he spent his mornings holding himself to account. That is the wolf at the back of the pack. That is leadership that has internalized its own standard. He wrote elsewhere, "Confine yourself to the present, not the empire's reputation, not how history would remember him. The present task, the present responsibility, the present person in front of him who needed a fair ruling. This is the wolf watching who is falling behind. Not the horizon of the hunt, the one who needs you right now. And perhaps most directly, waste no time arguing what a good man should be one." The wolf does not deliberate about whether it should protect the pack, it simply does. Marcus Aurelius is saying the same thing. Stop the performance, stop the debate, do the thing, be the thing. The action is the leadership. Here are three principles that both the wolf pack and the Stoic tradition agree on completely, not as inspiration but as operational guidance. First, position yourself to absorb, not to perform. Real leaders in the wolf world don't take the best position. They take the most responsible one. That means walking into hard conversations first. It means taking the hit before it reaches your team. It means making yourself the point of contact for everything that is difficult, so that others can move more freely. Marcus Aurelius led 4 military campaigns he didn't choose. He went to the front, not for glory, because it was his responsibility. Second, develop patience as a tactical skill. The wolf pack does not move until the experienced animals have read the terrain. There is no urgency theater. Patience in a wolf is not passivity. It is information gathering in real time. Epictetus wrote, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Before you act as a leader, observe. The pack trusts the wolf that sees clearly, not the wolf that moves first." Third, eat last, in every sense of that phrase. Credit, recognition, resources, let these flow to your team before they reach you. This is not self-sacrifice for its own sake. It is strategy. The wolves that eat last build the deepest loyalty. The leaders who give credit away accumulate the trust that makes every future decision easier. Marcus Aurelius could have ruled through fear. He ruled through service, for 20 years, at the helm of the most powerful nation on earth. The myth of the alpha wolf told us that power means domination, that leadership means being at the front, being the loudest, being the most feared. That myth collapsed the moment anyone looked at how wolves actually behave in the wild. And it collapses again when you read what Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the ancient world, wrote to himself in the dark when no one was watching. Real leadership isn't the front of the line. It's the back. It's the willingness to absorb what others can't yet carry, to see what others haven't yet noticed, and to move the group forward not through force, but through the quiet, relentless exercise of responsibility. The wolf knows this. Aurelius knew this. The question is whether you're willing to take that position. Subscribe to Untamed Sage. Every week, animal behavior and ancient philosophy converging on the same truth.